What if I told you that in 1593, a soldier guarding the governor's palace in Manila suddenly found himself standing in Mexico City, over 14,000 kilometers away, without ever boarding a ship? This is the baffling story of Gil Pérez, the teleporting soldier, who claimed he was on duty in the Philippines one night, only to appear the next day on the other side of the Pacific. Arrested, interrogated, and even accused of witchcraft, his case became even stranger when months later a galleon arrived, confirming everything Pérez had said, including the governor's assassination in Manila. Was it teleportation, witchcraft, a time slip, or just an elaborate legend? Let's uncover the mystery of Gil Pérez and his impossible leap across the ocean. Hi guys! Before we begin our story, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Here on Whisper of the Past, we bring you amazing stories, mysteries, and hidden chapters of history every day, so you'll always have something new to discover. If you're ready, let's dive in and start today's journey. The year is 1593. The Philippines has been under Spanish colonial rule for just over 3 decades. Manila, then only recently established as the capital of the Spanish East Indies, is a bustling city of trade and power. Galleons loaded with silk, spices, porcelain, and silver sail between Manila and Acapulco in Mexico, forging the legendary Manila galleon trade. But despite the wealth, the colony is unstable. Pirates prowl the seas, indigenous uprisings are not uncommon, and the colonial government is constantly paranoid of both external and internal threats. At the heart of this tension was the Governor General of the Philippines, Gómez Pérez das Mariñas. On the night of October 23rd, 1593, he was assassinated by mutinous Chinese rowers during an expedition against the Moluccas. His sudden death threw Manila into chaos, and it is here, amid the political turmoil, that a story begins, one that would echo across oceans and centuries. In Mexico City, more than 14,000 kilometers away, soldiers of the Spanish colonial guard were going about their normal duties. It was a sunny day, crowded with merchants, priests, and ordinary townsfolk. Suddenly, something strange happened. Standing at his post was a man in unfamiliar uniform. He looked dazed, confused, and completely out of place. The man was Gil Pérez, a soldier of the Spanish colonial guard stationed in Manila. But how could this be? According to his own words, he had been on duty the previous night in Manila, guarding the governor's palace. He remembered feeling dizzy, leaning against a wall to steady himself, and then nothing. The next thing he knew, he was standing in Mexico City, across the Pacific Ocean. The authorities immediately arrested Pérez. After all, his story was impossible. How could a soldier from Manila suddenly appear in Mexico without a ship, without weeks of sea voyage, and without explanation? He was questioned intensely. Pérez calmly repeated the same story. He was a loyal guard to the Spanish colonial government in Manila. He did not know how he arrived in Mexico City. He last remembered hearing about Governor das Mariñas' assassination just before feeling faint. To the astonishment of his interrogators, he even provided details of the governor's death, which was impossible to know in Mexico at that time. Remember, news from Manila took months to reach New Spain. Pérez was accused of witchcraft, sorcery, or being in league with the devil. But despite threats, torture, and imprisonment, he never changed his story. Months later, a galleon finally arrived in Acapulco from the Philippines. Aboard the ship were official documents and passengers who confirmed the assassination of Governor das Mariñas. exactly as Pezer'z had described. Even more shocking, some of these passengers recognized Pezer'z. They swore under oath that he was indeed a soldier of the guard in Manila. With his testimony, Pezer'z was released. His mysterious case was recorded by historians and chroniclers of the Spanish Empire. The tale of Gil Pérez has baffled historians, skeptics, and storytellers for centuries. Several explanations have been proposed. Myth and folklore. Some argue that the story is simply a colonial legend, exaggerated by word of mouth. A thrilling tale to entertain and mystify, but lacking factual basis. Time slip phenomenon. Others suggest Pezer'z experienced a bizarre case of teleportation, or time slip, appearing instantaneously across the ocean. This interpretation fascinates paranormal researchers who link it to modern stories of spontaneous teleportation, astral projection, or bilocation. In Catholic mysticism, saints and holy figures were sometimes said to appear in two places at once. Could Pezer'z have unknowingly bilocated? Psychological explanation. Some skeptics argue Pezer'z may have been delusional, his memory fractured by stress, fatigue, or trauma. Perhaps he was always in Mexico, and his Manila story was a hallucination. Alien intervention. A fringe theory, but one that pops up in UFO lore. Pezer'z was transported by extraterrestrials experimenting with humans. Wild, but it shows how much the story has captured imaginations. The case of Gil Pérez has remained one of the most famous teleportation mysteries in history. It appears in paranormal books, historical oddities, and even popular culture. In the Philippines, it has been retold as a cautionary tale of colonial intrigue and the strange powers that exist in the world. For paranormal enthusiasts, it stands as one of the earliest recorded cases of human teleportation. And for skeptics, it's a reminder of how folklore and rumor can intertwine with real historical events. Whether you believe Gil Pérez was truly transported across the Pacific, or that his story was just a legend born of colonial confusion, one thing is certain: the mystery endures. How could a soldier know of the governor's death months before any ship could deliver the news? How did people from Manila recognize him in Mexico? And why did the story survive, recorded in official Spanish writings, if it were merely fantasy? The world is full of mysteries that resist explanation, and sometimes the strangest stories are the ones history refuses to let go of. And that is the mystery of Gil Pérez, the teleporting soldier of Manila. Was he a victim of sorcery, a witness to a time slip, or simply the star of a legend too strange to ignore? Let us know what you think in the comments below. Do you believe teleportation is possible, or was this just a colonial folktale gone wild? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more mysteries from the Philippines, Asia, and the world. Because here on Whisper of the Past, history is never just the past. It's the untold story of who we are.